Have you ever stepped into someone else's home and immediately felt at peace? Not because it was fancy, not because it was spotless, but because it smelled like life. Like someone really lived there, cared for it, and loved being in it. I remember visiting a friend a few winters ago. Her home was modest, nothing trendy. But the moment I walked in, I felt a kind of warmth that made my shoulders drop. There was a soft scent, something like orange peel, a bit of cinnamon, maybe lavender on the sofa. I couldn't name it exactly, but it smelled like kindness, like someone still paid attention to the quiet things. And that's when it hit me. Maybe the fear that haunts us as we age isn't just being forgotten. It's our space becoming invisible, losing the spark that once made it feel like us. I used to think a fresh-smelling home came from products, from air sprays or new furniture. But I've learned it comes from something much deeper. Small, gentle acts of care, done with intention. And that's what we're doing today. We're not chasing perfection. We're not scrubbing like someone important is about to visit. We're reclaiming scent as a form of self-respect. So today, I'll share with you 10 of the most thoughtful, natural, and low-effort ways to make your home smell fresh every single day. No chemicals, no pressure, just kindness woven into your daily rhythm. And the last one might just change how you sleep tonight. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching from, and how has your relationship with your home been lately? We read every single comment, and your story might be just what someone else needs today. Now, let's begin with something as simple as opening a window. Do you ever clean your whole house, mop the floors, change the sheets, wipe every surface, yet something still feels heavy? Not dirty, just dull. That used to puzzle me. Until one morning I walked into my own living room and realized it wasn't the clutter, it was the air. Air is the first furniture in any room. Before anyone sees your sofa or your walls, they feel the air. Judith, a lovely woman I met in a senior journaling group, once said to me, "I thought my house just felt sad because I was alone, but it was really the air sitting still around me." She hadn't opened a window in weeks. Now, every morning, rain or shine, she opens 2 windows across the house, just 20 minutes. That small breeze makes everything feel lighter. "It wakes the house up," she told me, "and sometimes it wakes me up too." You don't need fancy purifiers, just airflow. If you don't have windows that face each other, open a bedroom window and the front door. Use a small fan to guide the air through. For bathrooms without windows, leave the door open and place a standing fan nearby. While that fresh air flows, take a moment to shake the doormat, lift the curtains, fluff the cushions. You'll feel the shift. And the best part? It costs nothing. Just a few minutes of your care and attention. Here's something we don't often say out loud. As we age, we get used to stale things, not just in the air, but in ourselves. But your home doesn't have to hold that weight. Let it breathe. Let you breathe. And if this speaks to you, maybe tomorrow morning, just for a moment, open the window before the coffee pot. You might be surprised how different everything feels. Now that the air is moving, let's look at something even more silent. The fabrics we live with every day. They hold more than scent. They hold memory. Let's tend to them next. Why does the house still smell musty, even after you've mopped the floor and sprayed a freshener? The answer is quiet and often invisible. It's in the things we forget to wash. Fabrics hold on to scent more than we think. Not just sheets or towels, but the curtains, the doormats, the throw pillows, the fabric on the sofa we've had for years. They soak up everyday life, cooking smells, sweat, humidity, even the perfume we wore 2 seasons ago. I remember Mrs. Elaine, 67, who once told me with a soft laugh, "I wash my floors every other day, but I hadn't touched my curtains in 5 years." And she wasn't alone. Many of us don't think of these things. They're just part of the background. Until one day we step out for a few hours, come back in, and notice a stale layer hanging in the air. Here's a gentle routine that works wonders.
Wash pillow covers and bed sheets weekly. Every 2 weeks, wash small rugs and table linens. Once a month, give the curtains a good wash or vacuum. For fabric sofas with no removable covers, sprinkle baking soda. Let it sit 15 to 20 minutes, then vacuum it off. Lightly mist with lavender water or a homemade essential oil spray once it's clean and dry. These aren't chores. They're quiet forms of care. There's something deeply comforting about sitting on a clean couch that smells softly of lemon or eucalyptus. It's not like using a spray that fades in an hour. The scent sinks in, like peace built into the fabric. Sometimes we think we're too old to care about these things, or that no one else notices. But you notice, and that's reason enough. Elaine said something I never forgot. When I finally washed the old curtains, I slept better, like the house had exhaled. So if you're wondering where to begin this week, maybe start with one quiet fabric, a pillowcase, a curtain, a blanket you've loved for years. Let it feel clean again, because when we freshen what we don't see, we start to feel lighter in ways we can't always name. And speaking of the invisible, there's one humble ingredient sitting in your kitchen right now that can remove odor better than any store-bought spray. Let's take a closer look at that next. What if the strongest tool for a clean-smelling home wasn't a scented candle or spray, but an old bottle of vinegar sitting under your sink? Many people hesitate to use vinegar because of the sharp smell. But what they don't know is, when it's used right, it doesn't leave a scent at all. It removes odor from the source and replaces it with something we don't talk about enough: relief. I once visited Maria, a 70-year-old widow living in a quiet corner of Ohio. Her home looked spotless, but she kept apologizing for a lingering smell she couldn't identify. "I've tried all the sprays," she sighed. "They work for 5 minutes, then the air goes back to feeling heavy." We tried one thing together. We poured white vinegar into a small ceramic bowl and placed it behind her refrigerator. A second one went under her kitchen sink. Within 2 days, the air shifted. Not perfumed, but clear. Here's the simple method. Place bowls of vinegar in odor-prone corners, near the trash, behind doors, or by laundry baskets. For surface cleaning, mix equal parts vinegar and water in a spray bottle. Mist it on rugs, curtains, or bathroom walls after wiping them down. If the vinegar scent bothers you at first, add a few drops of orange or peppermint essential oil. Once it evaporates, only freshness remains. There's something powerful about using something so humble, so ordinary, to bring life back into a home. Maria wrote to me a week later. She said, "It's strange. The house smells like nothing, and somehow that makes it feel full again." Sometimes we try to cover bad smells with noise, overpowering sprays, chemical bursts. But as we get older, we crave quiet solutions. We want to breathe deeply without wondering what's in the air. So if your home feels stuck, start with vinegar. Not because it's trendy, but because it works, and it respects your health, your budget, and your peace. And once the air feels lighter, let's bring in a little beauty. In the next part, we'll look at how to clean with fragrance, not after it. A small shift that changes everything. Why wait until after cleaning to make your home smell good, when the scent could be part of the cleaning itself? That shift in thinking changed everything for Darlene, 66, who told me, "I used to light a candle after scrubbing everything down, but it always felt like I was covering something up, never truly fresh." Then one day, she tried something different. She added 8 drops of lemon oil and 4 drops of lavender into her mop bucket, along with warm water and a splash of vinegar. As she cleaned, the scent moved with her, not as a cover-up, as a companion. Here's a simple recipe you can use. For general surface spray, mix 1 cup of water, 1/2 cup vinegar, and 10 drops of your favorite essential oil, lemon, eucalyptus, lavender. Use it to wipe counters, doorknobs, or tabletops. For floors, fill your mop bucket with warm water, add a few drops of oil directly, and stir. Want something portable? Soak paper towels or soft cloths in this mixture and keep them in a sealed jar. Instant homemade wipes. What makes this special isn't just the scent, it's the emotion attached to it. Many women I've spoken with, especially those living alone,
have confessed that cleaning often feels like maintenance, not meaning, as if they're tidying a place no one notices. But when your cleaning water smells like orange and rosemary, something shifts. The moment becomes less about removing dirt and more about creating comfort. Darlene put it best. It's the difference between wiping a counter because you have to and wiping it because it feels like an act of care, for me. Maybe no one else will notice the scent left behind, but you will. When you walk into that room an hour later, when your socks touch that lemon-scented floor, your body remembers. This space was touched with intention. So next time you mop or wipe, try adding fragrance as you go. You're not just cleaning, you're setting the tone for how your home feels, quietly, gently, and in a way only you will truly understand. And if that feels good, wait until you discover how powerful scent can be when it's hidden. Let's explore that next. Have you ever walked into someone's home and felt a soft sense of peace, but couldn't quite tell why? Nothing was fancy, no strong perfume, just something calming in the air. That's the magic of hidden scent spots. They're not sprayed or displayed. They're quietly tucked in, like little whispers of care. I still remember my visit to Nora, 69, a retired nurse who lived alone. Her home felt serene. Not just clean, but lovingly lived in. I asked her what she used for air freshening, expecting a brand name. She chuckled, then opened a drawer. Inside was a tiny sachet, a piece of old cloth tied with string, filled with dry rice, 2 drops of lavender oil, and a little cinnamon stick. "I don't like obvious scents," she said. "I like it when my home smells like someone thought about it." You can do this too. It's simple. Soak a cotton ball or a small piece of cloth in essential oil, orange, cedarwood, eucalyptus. Place it behind books on the shelf, under the bed, behind bathroom doors, or inside pillow shams. Drop one into your dresser drawers, tuck another at the bottom of your trash can under the liner, or tape a scented square inside the closet wall. And here's a favorite. Add a scented cotton pad to your vacuum bag, so every time you clean, a soft scent trails behind you. These hidden spots aren't about impressing anyone. They're about memory, about making your space feel quietly alive. So many older women I've spoken with have said the same thing in different words. I just want my home to feel like me, even if no one visits. That longing is real, and these soft scent touches, they answer it. Maybe tonight, take one cotton ball, scent it with a favorite oil, and hide it somewhere only you will find. That little secret might just be the most tender gift you give your home this week. And now, let's take that gentleness even further by reimagining something most people throw away. What if I told you the most luxurious fragrance in your home could come from a single orange? That's what Lydia, 72, discovered one winter morning. She was making tea and eating an orange, the house still chilly, the sky gray. She dropped the peel into a pot of water with 2 cinnamon sticks, just to see. Within minutes, her entire kitchen smelled like December at her grandmother's house. "I didn't need anything more than that," she said. "It was simple, but it made me feel held." Orange peels, lemon rinds, clove, and cinnamon. These aren't just scraps. They're natural scent carriers. And when you use them intentionally, they don't just freshen your air. They lift your spirit. Here's how you can start. Place fresh citrus peels in small open dishes around your home, on a bathroom shelf, windowsill, or bedside table. Simmer orange peel with cloves or ginger in water on the stove. Let the steam rise for 10 to 15 minutes. The scent will linger softly for hours. Or try this. Mix shredded citrus peel with baking soda and a drop of essential oil. Put the mix into a glass jar or cloth pouch. Leave it near the trash, in your closet, or even in your car. There's a quiet joy in using what you already have, in choosing not to waste, in turning something ordinary into something meaningful. Lydia called it her daily luxury, not because it was expensive, but because it reminded her that even now, she could create something beautiful. I've come to believe that aging gracefully is about finding new meaning in old things. And orange peels are a lovely place to begin, so don't throw them away next time. Let them sit in a warm corner of your home. Let them remind you that even leftovers can scent a space with care. Now, let's move to a place most of us overlook, but that holds the power to ruin everything we've done so far: the trash. Yes, let's talk about it, without shame. Have you ever changed the trash bag, but the smell still lingered? It's because we often clean the trash in the bin, but not the bin itself. I met Judith, 71, in her small but spotless home in Michigan. She took such pride in every corner, yet couldn't figure out why her kitchen always had a faint sour smell. Until one day, we pulled out the trash can, looked inside, and both gasped. "I never thought to clean it," she whispered. "I always assumed the bag was enough." The truth is, trash cans absorb spills, condensation, and hidden smells over time. Here's a gentle method to freshen them deeply. Once a week, empty your trash can completely. Wash it with warm water, a splash of white vinegar, and a few drops of lemon or eucalyptus oil. Let it dry fully. Then line the bottom with a paper towel sprinkled with baking soda or a cotton pad soaked in essential oil. This simple habit makes a big difference, especially if you've noticed lingering smells despite every other part of the home feeling clean. Judith told me later, that tiny change made my whole kitchen feel lighter, like something heavy had lifted that I didn't even know was there. We all want to feel in control of our space, especially as we grow older, when so many other things begin to feel outside our hands. But this is one small place where your care still has power. Maybe this week, just take 5 minutes. Clean the thing that holds the trash. Let it surprise you how much freshness comes from the quietest corners. And speaking of fresh air, what if you could scent your home your way, with ingredients you trust completely? Let's make that happen next. When was the last time you sprayed something and thought, what even is this scent? Many store-bought air fresheners smell strong, chemical, or simply wrong, especially for older adults whose senses are more sensitive, or whose lungs need gentler care. That's why I always tell friends, if you care what goes in your body, you should care what floats around it. Let me share Rosa's story. She's 68 and asthmatic. For years, she avoided using air sprays. Too risky. Then one day, she made her own blend. Water, a splash of alcohol, and 10 drops of lavender and bergamot. She misted her pillow, curtains, and couch. For the first time, she told me, I felt like the air wasn't just safe. It was mine. Here's a simple recipe. In a clean spray bottle, mix 1 cup of distilled water, 2 tablespoons of rubbing alcohol, or witch hazel, and 10 to 115 drops of your favorite essential oil. Shake gently before each use. Spray it on pillows, rugs, bathroom corners, or lightly into the air before guests arrive, or just for yourself. You can even adjust by season. Cinnamon in winter, jasmine in spring, lemongrass in the heat. What's powerful isn't just the scent, it's the choice. The fact that you decide what fills your space, not a factory, not a brand. Rosa said it best. When I breathe in that lavender mist at night, it feels like I'm tucking myself in with care. So maybe tonight before bed, mix your first small batch. Try 1 spritz. Let the room answer you back in softness. And as that scent settles, we'll turn now to a quiet truth. Most odor doesn't float. It hides in overlooked corners. Let's find them next. Do you ever feel like your house smells off, but you can't figure out where it's coming from? That's because odor doesn't always float around. It hides in the corners, beneath, behind. And for many women I've met, that subtle scent becomes a quiet source of shame. Linda, 67, told me this over tea. I keep my living room spotless, but I always catch this sour smell near the hallway. It made me feel like I was missing something obvious. So we took a little walk through her home. We found the culprit, not dirt, but dampness under the sink and an old pair of sneakers in the closet. These are what I call odor hotspots. Tiny places we overlook, like under the kitchen sink, inside the shoe rack behind the toilet, in the bottom drawer of a bathroom cabinet, or even behind the fridge. Here's a simple plan. Once a week, choose one corner. Open it up. Check for moisture, spills, or forgotten cloths. Wipe with vinegar and water. Let dry fully. Then leave a cotton ball with essential oil, or a small jar of baking soda with orange peel nearby. This isn't deep cleaning, it's listening to the whisper of your home. Linda said later, "I realized it wasn't about being dirty. It was about being unseen. These spots needed the same kindness I gave everything else." As we age, our fear isn't mess. It's that we'll forget what's quietly falling apart behind us. But tending to small, hidden places is a way of saying, "I still see." So maybe tonight, choose one small corner, open it, lightly clean it, then close it again, with love. And now, as night falls, there's one last scent that matters most, the one you sleep with. Let's make that moment count. What's the last scent you breathe in before you close your eyes? For many older women, nighttime can feel hollow. The quiet becomes too loud, and the bed too empty. But scent, when used gently at bedtime, can turn that quiet into comfort. I remember June 70, who had just lost her husband of 42 years. She said, "The bed felt cold, not just because he was gone, but because I didn't know how to settle myself anymore." One evening, she added a few drops of chamomile and sandalwood oil to a cloth, tucked it inside her pillowcase. She cracked the window just slightly, and for the first time in weeks, she didn't feel lonely. She felt held. Here's a bedtime scent ritual you can try tonight. 15 minutes before bed, open your bedroom window a crack, just enough to let fresh air in. Lightly mist lavender water or your homemade spray onto your blanket, curtains, or nightgown. Place a small sachet under your pillow, filled with rice, a drop of oil, and maybe dried herbs like rosemary or rose petals. If you have a diffuser, set a timer for 30 minutes. Use calming oils like bergamot, frankincense, or vanilla. It's not about falling asleep faster. It's about closing the day gently, with something soft, something that says, "I care for you." June told me, "I don't cry as often now. I think the scent helps me remember that I still have tenderness inside me." We all deserve that kind of ending to the day, especially when the world has gotten noisier, harsher, and more distant. So tonight, don't just lie down. Let scent become your lullaby. Let your pillow become a place of presence, not absence. And now, with every habit you've gathered, big or small, your home is not just cleaner, it's yours again. Let's close this video with one quiet truth to carry forward. Do you remember a scent from childhood that never quite left you? Not a perfume bottle, but something quieter, the scent of warm linen sun-dried on a clothesline, or a pot of rice and ginger bubbling when you were sick. For me, it was the smell of old wood and rose soap in my grandmother's hallway. I must have been 7, but every time I smell that combination now, I'm standing there again. Small, safe, loved. That's the quiet power of scent. It holds memory longer than words do. I once sat with Evelyn, 73, as she sorted her old linen drawer. She paused at a scarf, plain, cotton, soft. "This smells like my mother's hug," she said, then held it close. That scent wasn't strong, but it had stayed. For decades. You can create those kinds of anchors in your home, too, not just to make things smell good, but to carry memory forward. Try this. Choose one scent that feels like home to you, maybe vanilla, pine, jasmine, or frankincense. Use it sparingly, only in one place, a drawer, a shawl, or a bedside cloth. Let it become your signature. Over time, your grandchildren, your friends, even you, will come to recognize that scent as yours. That's not vanity. That's legacy. Because as we age, one of the quiet fears is to be forgotten. But scent can whisper, "She was here," even after we're not. Evelyn said to me once, "If I had to choose between photos or fragrance, I'd choose the scent, because it brings the feeling back, not just the picture." So perhaps today, think of a smell you want to be remembered by. Make it part of your home. Let it live in a drawer, a scarf, a pillow. That's not just a cleaning trick. That's a love letter to the future. And now, let's bring it all together in one quiet closing. We didn't just remove odor. We made room for peace, memory, and breath. Through tiny habits and tender scents, we learned that cleaning isn't just about wiping surfaces. It's about choosing how we want to feel, how we want to be remembered, and how gently we can hold ourselves in the everyday. So tonight, maybe just open a window or place a small scented cotton ball in your drawer. That's enough. You don't have to change everything. Just choose one soft act of care, and let that be your beginning. What scent reminds you of someone you miss, or a time you loved living in? Share below. Your memory might bring comfort to someone else reading today. If this helped you feel seen, feel at home, or just breathe a little softer, thank you for being here. We clean to care. And you, my friend, are worth caring for. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, may your home hold the quiet scent of peace.